Hey everyone, welcome to our Living in Richmond, Virginia YouTube channel, where we show you exactly what it's like to live, work, eat, and play right here in RVA. I'm Taylor Jefferson, and in this video I'm going to answer the question, is Richmond a safe place to live? I'll provide you all the crime data, the trends, I'll even show you a Richmond crime map so that you can make a better decision about where to live right here in RVA. So before we start though, please hit that subscribe button. Every week I'll be posting new videos all about living in Richmond, including some upcoming videos highlighting the safest neighborhoods to live in. But all right, let's jump into today's topic, is Richmond a safe place to live? So I'm going to be quoting a lot of statistics, and I'll actually show you a Richmond crime map a little later in this video. I'll post the links to the websites I used for making this video in the comments below. Definitely check them out. Let me tell you a little story from my college days. I've lived in Richmond and the surrounding areas since 2004. Now, I have seen the city crime firsthand. During my second year of pharmacy school in Richmond, I was walking back from my car to my apartment one night, and I got jumped. I saw this guy walking towards me in the parking lot. I didn't think anything of it. Then he showed me his gun and told me to get on the ground. Now, this gun looked like he had just robbed a Civil War museum right beforehand. Even in the dark, I could see this thing was all banged up and questionable if it would even shoot. It honestly looked like it had more rust than chrome, but seriously, I wasn't that curious to find out whether it worked or not. Obviously, everything turned out fine since I'm still here. I was so pissed at the time, though, because it was one of the few times I actually had cash on me. Remember, I was in college, so I was broke. But because I just sold a set of tires to a friend earlier that day, I actually had cash in my wallet, which of course got stolen that night. In retrospect though, I'm glad I had the cash on me because it gave them a payday and they went on their way. No doubt it was a scary experience, but I didn't cry and my pants remained dry. That's a great thing. Now that was back in 2007, and I've also seen Richmond become so much safer since then too. 14 years has really changed and improved Richmond. Story time's over, back to the numbers. Richmond's got about 232,000 residents, and it's the 5th largest city in the state of Virginia. And with more population comes a higher risk of crime. And according to the data from the FBI, Richmond has a 59% higher total crime rate than the national average, but only 22% higher violent crime rate compared to the national average. Keep in mind, though, these numbers are for the city of Richmond, and not for all the surrounding counties like Henrico, Midlothian, Goochland, Mechanicsville, Chesterfield, and Powhatan. If you check out the website macrotrends.net, it actually confirms what I saw while I was going through college and throughout my life living here in Richmond. The crime rate here has improved by leaps and bounds. The amount of violent crimes from 2004 to 2018 has dropped more than half, from 1373 to 518 per 100,000 residents. What's also really cool about this website is you can type in other major cities so that you can compare apples to apples, which I think will help because everything's relative, right? Spend a little time on this website and see how Richmond stacks up to other cities you have lived in, or maybe other cities you're thinking about living in. While Richmond does continue to have a higher crime rate compared to the national average, Richmond is on trend to continue to improve and become even safer. All the places I was warned not to go at night during college in the early 2000s are now all the really cool spots. I'm looking at you, Scott's Addition in Churchill. Through collective efforts of the local government, through VCU continuing to grow and expand, and with all the new small businesses popping up, downtown Richmond only continues to get better. Earlier in the video, I mentioned I'd show you an actual Richmond crime map, so let's check that out. This is a freemium website, so the free version has enough usable information to warrant its use, but you can actually pay and get more in-depth reports too. So go to neighborhoodscout.com and type in Richmond, Virginia. Once that loads, click on the crime tab. You can see the map changes and the areas of Richmond City have colors of clear/light purple all the way to dark purplish blue. And you can see that downtown areas of Richmond City have the highest levels of crime. What's really nice about this website is that on the right side of the screen, you can see a list of the lowest crime level areas within Richmond City, and the first one being Windsor Farms. Now, Windsor Farms is a super exclusive part of the city with grand historic homes and prices routinely exceeding $1 million. So it's not too much of a surprise that this area would be one of the safer in the city. Now, as mentioned, the statistics given and shown so far in this video have been for Richmond City. But Richmond is more than just the city. Really, when people speak about Richmond, they're also talking about all the surrounding communities too. So places like Short Pump, Midlothian, Chesterfield, Mechanicsville, they all get lumped in when you discuss Richmond. For instance, I say I live in Richmond, but really I live in the west end of Henrico County, and we're actually about to move out to Goochland. Now, most of these surrounding areas that I've mentioned have less crime than Richmond City proper. So let's check that out. Another cool part of this website is that we can click on the surrounding areas I mentioned to get an idea of the crime levels over there. Clicking to the left of Richmond City brings up Henrico County. So over to the left is what's called the West End, and that is where Short Pump is located. It has a lower crime rate than the eastern parts of Henrico County, which is called the East End. Obviously, Richmond could use a marketing department in helping with naming our areas. We're not very creative. Now, if you click on the Overview tab, what you will see is that the map color changes and the legend at the bottom now says price. If you switch back and forth between Overview and crime, you'll notice that the most expensive areas tend to be the lowest crime areas as well, which again makes sense, and thinking back to the first example of Windsor Farms from the city proves that theory to be correct. If you find yourself looking at houses and you're comparing prices and thinking to yourself, man, why is this one so much more expensive than another one? Well, the answer is because of location. And one of the reasons why that location might command a higher premium is because of it being safer. So play around on this website, check it out. I think it's a really helpful tool, especially if you're unfamiliar with Richmond. Check out the other areas, Glen Allen, Midlothian, Mechanicsville, Chesterfield too. As we have said before, all of the suburb areas are great and will have everything you need. You know, I always call it your bubble. And your bubble is made up of all the local grocery stores, the bars, the restaurant, the entertainment, even your go-to gas station. And it usually takes time to settle into a new place and get feeling comfortable and figure out what and where your bubble is. What everyone's always concerned with moving to an area they don't know is if they're going to end up liking their new bubble. That's what people complain about, like, oh, I wish I didn't buy a house in this particular area. So, you know, the question always is, what type of lifestyle can I expect to have if I move into this particular neighborhood? That's always of concern to a buyer. If you're thinking about moving to Richmond, let us be your guide. While touring homes, we'll gladly show you what your bubble could look like, what's in the surrounding area, and help you determine if that area is where you want to call home. So, Richmond City itself is definitely not going to be making the top 10 list of safest cities in the world anytime soon, but it is continuing to make improvements. And keep in mind that most metro areas have higher rates of crime compared to the suburbs that surround them. The crime rate isn't so bad here that people don't want to live in the city, but a higher rate of crime is just life when you live in a major metro area. And while the crime rate is a con, there's still plenty of pros for living in downtown Richmond. If, however, the higher rate of crime is something you want to avoid, then I suggest spending some time on that website and looking at the counties surrounding Richmond. In the future, we'll be doing videos about the best neighborhoods to live in all of the counties. So be sure to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of them. I appreciate you being here, and I'll see you next time.